Hi, Charmaine.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
Cold.
Yeah, cold. I mean, I'm cold. I say good, but I am cold.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make myself used to it.
Yeah, that's not happening here anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's going to warm up after today, I think.
Well,
So that will help. But then, of course, I at least we get the sun when it's this cold. That's the one blessing is that we get sunlight.
yeah, it was very sunny here today too.
Yeah, but starting tomorrow, the clouds will move in and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are going to be wet-ish and cloudy, dull, dank.
It's just cold here. Although the sun's shining, so that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I mean. It's when it's this cold up here, we get a lot of sunshine. That's the blessing.
But if it snows, it's that dry, powdery snow because it's too cold to form anything else.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we got an inch, I think, a couple days ago of
All,
that dry.
all
The
the snow
roads here
here.
are
Sorry.
horrible. I drove on some roads today that I really didn't feel very comfortable driving on, but I did. Hmm. Hi, Kathleen. How are
Hi,
you?
I feel guilty. It's warm here.
Yeah, well, you're in Arizona, right?
Well, it's still chilly in the morning and afternoon, but
Mhm.
I think it's 70.
Well, that's nice.
But ask me in July.
Yeah, I know.
We did have some below freezing temperatures, though. My pool had ice on it, a couple
Wow.
weeks ago, but not now.
Not now. Good.
I feel a little guilty for the rest of you.
No, you should be happy that
This is the
you
time
live
of
in
year.
a place like that. That's okay. I actually think the snow here is beautiful, um, but if it warms up after now, I'll be very happy. If it never went below freezing again this winter, I'd be fine, but I think it probably will. But maybe not this cold again. We'll see. But then I look at where my nephew lives in Fairbanks, Alaska. Why he chose to live there, I do not know. But in the next couple of days, their high is going to be less like 32 below, and their low is going to be 40 below. And I thought, and they're going to have several days of that in a row. I go, how can you live? Why do people choose to live in a place like that? 40 below zero is, you can't even keep a house warm, I don't think.
Thank you, Dan.
Yep, there I am.
There's Mary. And
Yeah.
hi, Karsten.
Hi,
How are you?
uh, tired. It's late.
Tired.
It's after 10 p.m. Germany.
Oh yeah, it's late there. But you don't have to work tomorrow, do you?
Uh, no, I was at home for weekend, so and I have a
You,
break in a week.
oh,
Doesn't matter since I wake
Um,
up so early every morning. Anyway, I still wake up early in the morning and I get very tired around 10 o'clock too.
That's me.
oh, video.
'Cause I get up
Ah,
between
yeah.
there you
5
are.
and 6 in the morning.
Oh, mm.
Okay.
I already looked for the next meeting, and I don't know if I will take part, because the one in February, February 3rd, will start in Germany at 3 a.m. in the
Oh,
morning.
Okay,
Oh, this is a little bit complicated.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Oh, the fan chat on the Friday night before the convention starts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the same for Liz in Greece. You know,
Yeah.
she's not gonna get up at 3 a.m. to do it. No way. So yeah. Yeah, there's just so much we can do to accommodate.
Yeah.
But
That's
hopefully
what.
on Saturday, and Sunday you'd be able to. At least part of it, at least some of them. We
Huh.
got Michelle Thaler again, the scientist who's such a wonderful
She's
speaker.
great.
God, I love her. Yeah.
and Bridget,
That
And
would be a
Bridget,
reason
the other
to,
jet propulsion.
to put an alarm on the clock, maybe.
well,
Well,
if,
then
if
Her,
you,
hers
okay,
is daytime.
on Discord, if you hit the I'm interested tab, when I get the events posted on there, it will automatically convert to your local time.
So you know exactly what time it will be.
And you can set it, you can put it on your calendar and set an alarm.
Mhm.
So then you won't forget. You no more manually calculating.
Yay.
One of the things we found out when I set up Greece. Oh, okay. And what was really nice is, everything was set in my time zone. But then when we were actually there, everything was in their time. So it
Yeah.
went by whatever location I was at, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But that's what we're going to do probably going forward, is to make it easier, is just have them all in one place, and then we kind of tell if people are interested in doing it.
Yeah, it's a good widget.
I will always problems with time zones and such things.
Well,
So,
I can't make it to where it's, 8 o'clock in the morning for everybody. It's got to be, nighttime for somebody and morning for somebody else.
mhm.
And since Vera is based in the United States, we
Yeah.
want it to be good for her, so. I'm just lucky I'm in the same time zone as her.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. I mean, I'm an hour behind you, as is Shelley, so.
And then Carrie and Kathleen
Yeah.
are even farther behind,
Either 2 or 3, depending on what
Depend-
time of year it is.
depending on the season.
Yeah.
But Richard Joel will be with us on Saturday. Richard Leacock is going to be on Saturday, and we're asking him to do something on Sunday. I don't know if he'll be available or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Carrie,
Sunday-
Richard Joel said he could MC the quizzes on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
didn't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did see that. I thought that was
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's on the planning committee again this year?
The
Just
same.
us.
For the quizzes or
Yep,
the whole-
Oh,
the
you
whole
mean for the
committee?
quizzes, Charmaine, or the,
just the TagCon committee, planning,
Oh.
scheduling,
pretty much
quizzes.
the same people?
Yeah, pretty much the same people.
With
Mary,
Liz, of course.
Carrie, Nancy, Shelley, Liz,
Terry.
Terry.
Yeah.
Thank God for Terry, who can do
Yes.
the
She can do all the
computer
tech
stuff,
stuff. Yeah.
the registration stuff for us,
Yeah.
among other things.
Hmm. Yeah.
And she's gotten some of the guests and
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's all around helpful. And Nancy does almost all the scheduling and a
Oh,
lot of
and
the
Nancy does
contacts
all
and
the
stuff.
communicating, yeah,
Yeah.
with the people.
He's definitely chairman of the board on that one.
Yeah.
I think of it more as an administrator,
The venerable administrator.
Yeah, she makes sure,
just the
makes
venerable
sure
one.
that everybody is notified of what their role is and what they have to do when, and yeah.
Yeah.
And then you handle trivia. You're in
Yep.
charge of trivia.
Mhm.
And we do trivia, some of us.
Yeah.
So everybody has a job.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Ooh.
how many of
Sorry.
you have a subscription to one of to either Ream or Patreon for Vera?
I do.
I do.
Do you, Karsten?
I have a subscription to Patreon, yes.
Okay, how about you, Kathleen?
Sorry, I've got a couple things going on. I'll be kind of in and out for a minute.
Okay, okay. I was
I
just, I was just concerned that, you know, if anybody mentions anything on
Oh, yeah.
EOS or something,
Spoilers.
that if we all have subscriptions, and then we're not spoiling, we're not doing
Yeah.
spoilers or anything.
But yet we are spoiling because these are recorded. So
That's true. I forgot
Sure.
about that. Thank
things can
you.
certain things can be spoiled as long as we don't give out any definite plot points or things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know from something Vera just put up is that EOS is about halfway done.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
I saw that. Yeah.
At least that's what she thinks.
The competitions have started.
Yeah.
She has not met key players yet, but she will
They've
meet
been
them.
mentioned,
She will meet them soon.
and they've been
I was gonna
mentioned.
say, I hope she meets them soon, because if we're halfway through,
Got that big party
there's not
coming up.
much in the way of key players yet.
Well,
But I'm assuming that it'll sort of end when the contests are done and they select who's going, that it'll probably end with them leaving Earth or close to
getting on,
that,
getting on the kind of
getting
the
on
way
the
that-
ship.
the way that Vera described it to me, and this is not really a spoiler, is EOS in a lot of ways is like Qualify.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've heard her say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
she said that.
point.
Yeah.
They'll be getting on the ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, the setup's a little different because she had to do a lot of world building in EOS that was not necessary in Qualify, because Qualify started
Started close
basically
to our
it-
time frame. Yeah.
to our time frame in the United States, which is where
Yeah.
she was writing from.
Vera's
And
arriving.
here she is.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, that definitely, but I still don't think it's going to be a hugely long book,
Yeah.
not like the last couple, so. And hopefully writing the contests will flow that might flow fairly well. I don't know. We'll find out when we ask her.
Yay. Hi.
Hi. Aw, there's
Oh.
Stevie.
Oh, I thought you were wearing a blanket. I see you're wearing a living blanket.
I'm wearing a cat.
A living blanket.
Who's that, Vera? Who's
Well,
that?
she's in,
for a little
she's in
bit.
model orange room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that I painted, because it was
Ah.
For new room.
it was so dark. It was dark green and it was almost pitch black, like when you were there. So
And it was a storage, and it
Yeah.
was a storage facility.
well, it was just awful. It still is because I'm still dealing with stuff, but yeah. So
Yeah.
here's Stevie. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, Asen, you want to say hi? Nope. Okay.
How are you guys doing?
Doing
Is
well.
it cold where you are or not?
Yes.
Or, you know?
Cold.
Yeah.
Very cold.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not too
we
bad here
finally got
today.
winter.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
too bad here
Kathleen
today. I
was
think
saying
we're
it's
about
like
50.
70 in where she lives.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
some of you are like 70. Wow. Can
Yeah.
you see my window outside?
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Snow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 14 Fahrenheit, which is like some like -10 Celsius or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it is here too.
Yes, it's flurries and
And snow.
yep.
We got we got over 20 inches of snow within a week.
Aw,
Which
I'm
is a
jealous.
lot for us.
We just got
Ay, ay, ay.
slush.
Oh, gee, it's
Yeah, well,
positively
this-
balmy here. It's 22 degrees.
Yeah, that is
But,
balmy.
yeah,
But
Yeah,
it's
no, we're
20
supposed to get
it's
up to
snowed
that.
3
tomorrow.
times this
We
It's
have a little
20 here
snow
and we
here in
got-
It
Germany
snowed 3
too.
times this week. This is the most snow we've had in 2 years.
Wow.
What'd you say, Karsten?
We have little snow in Germany too, but the forecast is +10 to +15 degrees Celsius on
Oh.
Tuesday.
That's
Very
warm.
nice.
Yeah.
Warm,
Very
yeah.
warm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
That's-
balmy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, global warming is doing its thing. So
Yeah.
everything's
Sometimes.
messed up.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it in some parts of the country for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this
Well, this
week.
is the most
Next
snow we've
week-
had here in about 2 years.
Yeah.
We hardly had any.
Well, this is our
snow at all last
typical
winter.
January Arctic blast.
Yeah, exactly. It's an Arctic blast. That's what,
Yeah,
And then we'll have another one in February.
probably. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm hoping
that's
for
what's
rain.
here in this area.
We're really, really dry this year. I'm hoping for rain. We're supposed to get some this weekend, so
I
hopefully
thought
it
you
will
got
actually
some. I thought
materialize.
you got, okay.
We had 2 snowfalls that each
see,
amounted to about that much.
Yeah. And no
That's
real
all we've
rain.
had. That's all we've had. And we had a very dry summer too. So
Yeah,
it's really
yeah.
dry here.
it's basically a disturbance in the force.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not a good thing. And I don't know how far it's gonna get, for example, when we have the eclipse here in April 8th,
Yeah.
supposedly it could still be pretty cold. It could be like everything is shifted over because, we don't know what the weather might be like. It could be completely melted, but
They showed a long-term, like a 60, 90-day projection on the weather on the news one night. And
Yeah.
it looked like the northern, from where I live to where you live, that whole northern section of the United States, it looked like we were supposed to be pretty much way warmer than normal.
Really?
And that would right in through April. We'll see.
yeah, well, if it's
It's so far
normally in
out that
April,
who
it could be
knows?
anything. So it could
Yeah.
still be snowy, but it could be like,
Yeah. Well,
it-
long-term predictions
it
are
could
not.
start to melt and they'll be just kind
Yeah.
of bare bone.
So,
Because we're at the center. I'm at the path of totality in the very center.
That's
not
gonna be
just the
so
path, but, like,
cool.
in the middle of the path. So it's gonna be perfect eclipse here. So,
Yeah.
And here in St. Louis, it's 90 between 98 and 99%.
really close, yeah.
yeah.
How
I'm
did I miss
surprised.
this? I haven't heard anything about the eclipse.
Oh, gosh. I've
Yeah.
been tracking it since the last big one, like in 2019 or something like that. My
Uh.
sister and I had plans to drive up to New England and be there in the totality area, but it's not going to work out, unfortunately.
But I don't know if it was here, like the United States eclipse, the biggest one was like somewhere in the last millennium or something, I think. I don't
Well,
think
no,
we
we
had
had-
one
No,
here.
no, the last one was in 2017 or 18 or 19. It was right
Really?
around
Okay.
there.
It was
was
17.
Because-
But it was in a different part of the country. There's usually
was
only a
17.
fairly narrow
Right,
stretch
right.
where
It was
all-
actually down in, it actually was closer to Nancy at that time. I had some people that went down to Paducah area in southern Illinois.
To get
Yeah.
in Cape Girardeau, which is about
Yes, Cape Girardeau.
150 to 200 miles south of me on Highway 55.
Yeah,
That's where it was 100%. Where I'm at, it was like 98, 97.
Yeah,
But it
no,
was-
Where I was at, here in Madison, it was like 85%. And you could see, we had to use the special glasses because
Yeah.
the sun was
right.
never fully covered,
Mhm.
but it definitely got dim,
Yeah.
for-
Yeah,
for
that one I
I got
remember.
two
'Cause
pairs. I was getting, this is my brand new computer glasses. And when I was getting my glasses at the eye place, they were selling the eclipse glasses.
Oh, yeah.
So I bought 2 pair just in case I don't have enough, whatever. But so I have 2, and it's you can't see anything through them. So it's
Yeah,
like, I
you
don't
can't.
think-
They're
I have
complete
5
white.
pairs that I'll
Got a
bring.
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last eclipse, for whatever reason, my son had the day off of school as well. And so I took the day off of work and we went and we laid in the park a couple blocks south, along with, it seemed like the rest of the neighborhood. Everybody
Mhm.
took their blankets out. And we just laid there and waited for it. It was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that- it was in
it-
the summer. It was
it
warm.
was August, it was in August 2017 because
Thank you.
we
Okay.
were, when my daughter, no, my daughter was going
I
to
was
school.
already here, I guess, 2017. But I'm thinking because it must, like where we are in New England, it wasn't full, like it wasn't that kind of.
No,
in-
you didn't,
Yeah.
it
No,
was,
we were driving down to
it's-
Virginia.
Yeah,
Right.
I
My
think
daughter
it,
was
I
going to
think it
school in
kind of
Southern
cut
Virginia.
straight across instead of
Yeah.
going north. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we were driving down. Teresa went to school in Southern Virginia, and that was the beginning of her senior year. And we were driving down. We were
Mm.
taking 2 cars. We were taking 2 cars actually because she was going to have a car at school. And we usually made the trip down in 2 trips. We left in the afternoon, stopped somewhere in like Maryland for the night, and then finished the drive down to Southern Virginia. And it was while we were traveling
Hmm.
that
That
the
it
total eclipse happened, while we were traveling down into Virginia, and that's where we
really
saw it.
interesting.
But that's why I remember when it was, because it was
Right.
Yeah.
late, it was
Yeah,
mid
no,
to
it
late
was, I
August.
remember how warm it was and here. And it was sort of a hazy, sort of cloudy-ish day, which didn't actually hurt here because it just made it a little easier.
Yeah.
You still had to wear the glasses, but still.
Yeah, I've never actually, I don't think, back in California, when the last one we had closest to me, it was, I don't think it was full either. It was just like a partial, so we could sort of see the little, half suns, like if you know, those shadow boxes you use, and you
Yeah.
shine on the ground and you see like these
Yeah.
half shadows or
Cool. Yeah.
funny little
Well, I'll
double
be able to
suns.
see part of it, because I'm actually
Yeah,
off
so
that
it's
day,
just
and it'll be at
partial
2 o'clock
or
in the
whatever.
afternoon.
Yeah, but this time around, it's gonna be complete here, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting.
Yeah. I would
And
love
then
to see
after that,
those.
it's, I don't remember when the next one is, but it's decades.
It's a pretty long time, yeah.
Right.
Gonna
And
take
I
the
know
day
a friend
off.
is gonna be in
Like
Egypt.
30
and the
years or
next one is
something.
gonna be, if you wanna see it full, like you have to go in Egypt or something to see the
Yeah,
whole,
right. You'd have to go somewhere else in the
Yeah.
world. not
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
which is kind of a cool thing, because this person I know, she and her husband are taking a special trip just for, she's gonna miss this one, but they're gonna see the one in Egypt, so. they're
Oh,
gonna-
wow.
And that should be an experience. Pyramids, you're
Oh,
in the
yeah.
pyramids and you're watching this amazing eclipse. It's like, yeah.
That would be something.
So,
Although I don't, if it's a huge draw, I wouldn't want all those people. I'm not a big people person.
Yeah.
yes, Stevie. Poor little baby. This is the guy who's just, finicky a little, because he's, we're hanging in there. We're
He's
okay.
doing okay.
He's doing okay. Yeah, he's just very finicky. I gotta feed him all these expensive, fancy little
Yeah.
whatever things. So, but he's okay. Poor guy. So, and I'm trying to write, I'm trying to hurry up and write Alice as fast as I can, because I got, how many years since my last big book? 2020, when I had survived.
Yeah,
That's
gotta get
terrible,
this one out.
I did have 2 novellas, and I had so I had 4 other releases, but
Yeah,
they
the
were-
companion and the people and
and
blue.
the 2 novellas,
and
Ace
Black.
and Blue and
Ace
Ace
and
and
Blue and
Black, right?
Black.
So, which is still, it's a lot of things, but it's not a full novel. So we're
Yeah.
gonna have Alice. I'm going to go crazy and try to finish it, like, but let's hope by spring, just, shut my, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
okay, this one right here
What is that?
that I'm sharing,
Right.
okay. I just don't need to see all my pictures, but, these right here, these are from the eclipse. It was,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
August 21st, 2017. Or maybe it was August 17th, August 2017. I don't remember the day.
Right.
What'd you take those with?
My phone.
Oh, and it actually, did it without burning it out or anything, huh?
Well, what they told you to do.
Did they say to put a cover on the lens or something, just to put a,
Uh-huh.
if you take the phone and you put the eclipse glasses on top of the lens, then should be okay.
That's what they told you to do, is to put the eclipse glass over your
Right,
lens on your phone and then take your picture.
exactly, right. That makes sense.
I just didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But I mean, it was fun. I mean, I was,
Yeah.
it got a little hazy. Because I was working and we were kind of told that if we don't have to be out driving during the certain, the times that it was, because it was like a 4-hour period.
yeah.
if I-
It's long.
if I
Yeah.
From when
recall
it
correctly.
starts to when it ends, yeah.
right.
But it was, I mean, it was, it was interesting. I mean, we had our glasses and we looked.
The one here next, in the next few months is going to be at around 2:20, like 2 something PM.
Yeah, it's 2
From
in the
the
afternoon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and it's gonna
it's
be-
leading up. That's when it hits
Yeah.
totality. It's leading up to it and
Right.
then afterwards. So that'll be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
It's about a 4-hour process.
Right, right. So, but it just like the smack middle of it or somewhere like around
Yeah.
2, whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we should be good. And I'm thinking because see, I'm in a kind of woodsy little street, so there's a place to look at it because if you go outside here in the house, it's just trees. It's really hard to like, there's not that
You have to
much
go
light.
where it's open, yeah.
Well, we have to go. There's like a little rock thing, like I have like little neighbor area. So it's like a little roundabout. It's basically like a little loop and there's a rock in the middle and it's open space. So that's the best place I could probably look at it because, otherwise I'll be like looking up through the trees and going, where? It's just a, small little rural, Vermont and,
Yeah.
I'd have to like take a little drive to have a really open space, but in this area, it'll be like, go out
Mhm.
where the neighbors are.
Well, that, I mean, it'll still be fun.
Oh, no, it will be. It'll be great. It'll be good. So basically, I'm getting ready, cleaning this place up, paint is done. So now I'm dealing with the books that I've cleaned the bookshelf, my poor mom. What I'm doing here, this used to be my mother's room, and I'm dealing finally with her books and her things and just dealing with it. There's a lot of stuff. When she passed away, it's hard. You just wait and
Mhm.
so, but it happens. So yeah, but it should be this is going to be like a library room. So there's going to be more things on the orange wall that will be like, bookshelf, other things. That's but for now, this is it. So, but at least I have my little office here. So now this is where I'm working because this little nook is where I'm basically writing now, not upstairs because I have an upstairs little office. It's like a 2-bedroom little house. But, if I go up there, this is better for me. This is much better for me to write. So I'm excited to be writing here.
Well, it's closer to the kitchen. You can go get your tea.
Well, yeah, and also it's just, going up those little freaking stairs and it's just the office is kind of tiny. I mean, it has tons of books and stuff, but again, it's just, this is just better for me. I
Yeah,
really
no,
like.
if you have to write, you have to work where you feel good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because for a while there's like a little there's a recliner chair here. It's right now that it's covered with stuff, but I had to buy a recliner to work because you guys know that I had a back problem. I could not write on a desk and a chair. I had to sit in a recliner to write. So all of Survive, like all these things were written basically with me almost lying back in a recliner, typing funny because my sciatica was so bad. So when they fixed things, I had the surgery, they fixed things, so now I can sit. I am excited to sit. It sounds really crazy, but I'm happy to sit in a chair, not to have to be.
Yeah.
Because that's just, so much better to work at a normal, like a desk situation as opposed to, So
You don't appreciate what you have until you don't have
yeah,
it anymore. And then when you get it back, you're like, wow.
I know. And then the wrist, of course, because from years of typing, I've wore braces before back in the 90s and now, but there's no relief to a writer. A person who writes or has any other type of data entry job, you're stuck.
Yeah.
So the only other option is dictation, and I tried, and believe me, I can't. So
Well, it's kind of, it's interesting because a lot of my clients use the talk to text.
right, that's basically the different programs.
And some of it is really funny. We had a manager, his name was Dominic. Okay. And if you use talk to text and said Dominic, it would say dum dum.
Vera,
That's my cat TV, dum dum.
And he was a really nice guy, and I really felt bad because Dominic, and he comes out dum dum. And everybody, it was doing the same thing. So finally his name became Dum Dum. And he out of love, we weren't doing it to make fun of him. It was just what talk to type did to him.
Was it
Yeah.
did they use like some built-in program or Dragon, which Dragon is sort of like the
I have no
most
idea. It was,
high-end.
anytime you do a text, it was when they were doing text messages.
Okay,
and-
that's probably a cheap,
but
like a
other
very cheap
programs-
low-end program.
The kind
It's
that's just
part of
included
the-
with just about everything nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't work very well.
No.
They don't
Sometimes
understand things
do.
very well.
They have
Sometimes they
different
do. I
dictations,
I use dictation on one of our programs, especially if I'm doing it on my phone versus my tablet.
Right.
And the tablet's got the little keyboard that goes with it. It's just easier, but I do watch it and I proofread it because it doesn't always have the correct punctuation, or maybe
You
it might-
have to proofread them. Yeah, you absolutely have to proofread them.
Yeah, and sometimes not only the punctuation, but just like the homonyms, like they use the wrong, they could put in the wrong word by,
Yeah.
all the
Well,
time.
The grammar is usually fairly close, but it's not always correct. So you always have to double
you
check.
can tell it to put in a comma, and you can tell it to put different punctuation in,
Yeah.
which works.
I mean, I tried it, but it just doesn't really feel right for me to dictate
A book.
fiction. It's just because I pause, my brain pauses as I'm, so it's better just to type, even if I'm typing with pain, but it's just, I gave up on that. So that's for me. Typing is the way for me to write, so I can't do anything.
Vera, do you have a comfortable chair?
Yeah, I'm fine. This is like a normal, this is my mom's office chair, a lot of the furniture here, this is my mom's little, area. So this is her little table, and it's got the only thing I did was I got new bookshelves. So there's two really big, nice bookcases for her stuff. And then I put some of my writing books here, like dictionaries and things that are handy. So if I want to reach across, because I can't turn this really easily, but anyway, there's like a shelf here, and I can just reach across, pick a dictionary, or pick some. I have thesauruses, all kinds of guides, and lots of Russian stuff, research books, like stuff about like ancient history, all kinds of goodies here. So it's like, this is a good place for me. More convenient than upstairs where I had shelves too, but they're just not really well arranged. So, yeah, I got all my stuff here. And of course, if I need reference stuff, I can on the desk right here, I can have, yay. It sounds funny, but I gotta look up. This is great. I wrote this for me. Don't think
It does sound funny.
That's a big world you created. It's hard to keep track of.
I got these are like the Bibles, because I had a what you call like a writer's Bible of the series. I have a folder, it's like a big file folder, but it's not easy to go through. It's like scribbly notes. I have them in like plastic, and they're all on this folder. And
There's no
this is
index.
so much better.
Yeah, no index.
This is what I go for instead of my own notes, which is just.
You have to make sure you don't contradict yourself.
Those are things.
This
And
is
my
why it's taking me so long to write Alice, because as we go deeper and deeper into the world of the Atlantis Grail, there's more and more things that are like fixed. So now that because they're fixed in the story, I have to verify everything all the time. I mean, stupid little things like you know, so-and-so's name, like, let's say I reference somebody and survive, one of the, the ancients, and then, did I give him like, what did I say about them in the thing? And I have to,
Yeah.
compare.
Yeah.
And it's
That's gotta
becoming
be the
annoying.
weirdest feeling.
Well, and and we know about the one imperial brother who's kind of not a nice person.
Well, yes, we have Narmeragat. Narmeragat Cassiope is the brother that basically causes a lot of problems for people in the ancient prequel series. So you will meet him in full, but he was just mentioned by name. So that's all you get is just
Yeah, well, all we
mention him like
knew,
once or
all
twice.
we knew was that he was not nice,
Right.
and that's
But-
all we knew. And that was just the opinion of a
Semi.
Sister.
very
Yeah, younger
sheltered
sister.
16-year-old girl. Could have just not been nice to her.
Exactly. We can't compare it until we actually see what's happening. And right now, I don't know how many of you have been following along, Alice, have you've been reading along or,
Yeah.
up on the Patreon and the ring.
I
but-
think everybody on here,
Yeah,
but
I think you guys
but this
are.
is being recorded.
Right. So what I'm doing now is we're going into the big action stuff because right now I'm still dealing with the qualification, the ancient version of service qualification.
Yeah.
It's different.
I loved it. I loved it.
I enjoyed
There's
that
a
last
funny
Yeah, me
one
too.
coming up. There's a very interesting one coming up because the next one that Semi and her little brother Uru, they're going to this other house, this noble house to have so I'm almost finished with that chapter, but like once that part is done, they have the evening party to deal with. And boy,
can't
oh
wait to
boy,
see that.
Yes.
the
And
shit
the
was
guests,
hit
and
the fence at that
we'll get to-
party.
Maybe we'll get to
That's
meet
what
certain
I've been
people.
working. So a lot of this stuff is just the little stuff, but once we hit the stuff in that party, things are gonna go crazy. So be ready. That's coming up very, very soon. So
The
hopefully
brother
the
is
next
a
chapter.
crack up. The
Yeah.
brother is a crack up. He's very funny.
Well, he's a little kid who's trying, he's a very smart little kid who works hard. And in those ancient days, kids worked, that's what
Yeah.
they do.
Now
They-
he's
Yeah,
what,
he-
about 7?
I think I'm
Seven.
trying to remember if I made him 6 or 7. Again, something to look up.
Yeah, I was
You made him
thinking
7
he was-
because you initially made him 6, and I said that is too young.
I think yeah, exactly. So he must be 7. So
He's
whatever
7.
it is, it's referenced in my little, not in these books, obviously, not in these guys, but I have a new Bible started up for the prequel series.
And then he's kind of he's at the age where in modern Atlantis and what they had to start to go to was when they would actually start their school, their professional
they would go to
school
their,
or
cadet
apprenticeship.
school or
But
some
he's,
other
but he's
school,
really
you know.
only Earth.
Right.
He's really
But you
only
only
Earth
have-
7 though.
Right. You
I was
guys
going to
only
say
have
on
experience of the
Atlantis, they're about
fancy-
age 9.
The fancy cadet school is all you've seen on screen so far, but really other people in the society would go to some other, maybe technical schools, regular school, just other non, because this is focused on the military. This is like a military academy thing. But what the people would be starting here is once they're on the ships here in the prequel series, they will start to have to, again, working early and going to school and doing all these things early is part of the ancient culture. And that's something that was on Earth too. I mean, that's like normal because people just, if you were in the low class people, they would just start to do whatever, like apprentice to whatever, their parents in the family or the closest, whatever was available. So they would just work from their day one. And
Well, when I had visited Egypt, one of the things that we toured besides the pyramids and the Sphinx and the, normal stuff that you're supposed to tour when you're in Giza and Cairo,
right.
Was a carpet school.
Yep.
And the guide was mentioning the fact that in Egypt, education is free all the way through graduate level. However, most children stop working at about, they stop going to school at about 12 and they go to work. And the carpet school was like a trade school where they would learn how to make carpets. So those beautiful Egyptian tapestries,
Mhm.
12-year-olds.
Yeah,
Well, it
I
makes
think that's
sense
a
because,
regular stop
you know,
back from the
any trade,
pyramids.
anything. But one thing I want to mention about ancient Egypt is this was actually, I'm trying, in one of my many research, whatever things I picked this up, is that the children, little boys and they would be taught to scare the birds off the field. That was
Yeah.
one of their earliest jobs, is scaring birds. Because, and that was
And I
in
mean,
real,
this is, you know, this is the 20th and 21st centuries, and that they're still doing it.
right,
And,
exactly. So
you know,
things don't change.
if you're poor, you know, you get the basics and then you get a job. So you're
Right.
perpetually being poor. You're never going to be rich. Whereas the ones who can afford to allow their kids to, you know, become doctors and lawyers and engineers and whatever, and get their
Right.
doctorate and get the higher education is because they're already from affluent families, because they can afford to not have them contribute to the
Yeah.
weak income.
Right, right. And what happened in ancient days in the prequel series basically is just ancient Earth. That's how it would have been. And of course, we're going by Atlantis, which is like a semi-myth or whatever, made up thing. But around that time in ancient Egypt, that's what kind of was happening. So, but that was taken in our thing in Atlantean colonies, because the kids went through all the disease. Remember, the jumps caused it. So they stayed that way. Basically, all that kind of became the norm for people who just could not, people were getting sick. So remember the long sickness from the jumps. So they had to be doing all these chores and jobs and things that the adults couldn't handle. And that became kind of an ingrained part of the culture. So they just stuck with it forever and ever.
Well,
That's
here's
how it originated.
is a 16-year-old girl. I mean, she's got a job. She had,
Yeah.
chopping mushrooms, and now she's working for a very influential noble family, but she can't read or write. She is illiterate.
And a lot of other people too. That's why they have all the recording equipment to read back everything. So they assume that most of the regular, serving population are now going to be able to read, which they can't, to some degree. Maybe somebody picks it up a little bit, but overall there's no formal whatever, levels of education.
There's, okay, well, we're gonna learn our letters. And what letters? Yeah. Oh, you can't read. Oh yeah, you're poor. You wouldn't know that. Yeah, that's right. We don't educate the poor.
And again, they could be, which I didn't get into yet because there's no time, obviously. We will explore some of the stuff that was happening, like people in Denwen's pit, Circle 10, which is the poorest of the poor in the city. They were still better off than people outside the city, because so far you're seeing like the fancy capital city, and you have
Yeah.
no idea of the kind of crap that's happening outside. So that's bad. There's a lot of that. Yeah.
We're not seeing
and the caves people, there's a level of people outside Atlantis, the fictional, everywhere around Earth. They're basically they're cave people, so they're really, really low level. And you're going to see some of this later on as we're getting closer to the disaster striking. So and I think I already had a brief mention of this, where they were Bisfuri, the father, Lord Bisfuri, he was in a ship and they were returning, and there was a malfunction, and
he was in one of the
and they were concerned about him being seen. And anyway, you will see it. That's a very important little thing. So you're going to see some stuff related to that. So, but because the primitives saw that, that's not good. They don't want the primitives to see the advanced technology and whatever.
Well, and they really don't care about the primitives anyway.
Right. At
because
this point, they don't care. But usually before that, they wanted to keep it to themselves and just kind of, Atlantis, the center, was, the heart of all this technology and all this stuff. And, and then there's the continent itself, and then there's outside the continent, which is like cave people. So, yeah, and, some, not necessarily everybody was cave people level, but there's some, pretty basic rudimentary, Earth at that time. I'm trying to think. It's the Ice Age period. It's the greater Dryas, when the comet on Earth supposedly hit and caused the ice age. You know about that,
The last ice age was
right,
when
right. So that's basically simple. That's real, like in real historical.
this is like
you know.
right before that.
Right. So that and in our story, the strike is, again, it's asteroid being sent by aliens. So it's not just a comet, but it's an actual, so it's lots of fun coming up. And you will see, yeah. I don't want to start saying things because then I will give a lot of good stuff.
We better put a
Disclaimer.
a disclaimer on this
Yeah.
recording, Nancy, at the beginning to say, if you don't want to know anything about EOS, don't watch this.
Right. Well, like I said, I'm not giving too much away. This is just stuff that's already whatever's been recorded and
Yeah.
whatever's out there on the subscription certain platforms on Ream and Patreon. But
there are a few people that I know of who don't want to know it or read it until it's complete.
Right.
And
I think this
and I
generates.
get that. I understand that. And I wish I could just like pop my fingers and there you go. But this is taking slow because there's a lot of research and we have to be consistent. And it's the framework is the original series is complete. The stuff that's happening like in book 5, the book of everything, is not really a part of it. It's just its own standalone, basically attached to. So kind of like what's happened to our favorite characters lately? What are they doing now? And so there's some events, but the biggest thing is that it ties in together to the prequel series, which I cannot, get into. So there's a lot of stuff.
The only thing we know about the prequel is the asteroid hit 12,500 years ago.
Yes.
Or 9,771 Atlantean years, or give or take a few.
Right.
That the Cassiopeia family survived. Aeson only knew about Blessed Juru. And
he knew about he knew about the mother, the Imperator,
we knew about mom and dad and the oldest brother.
And that's all he knew about, right?
We find
that's all anybody knew about.
Ramatat was told that there was this book of everything. There was something more, but it was lost through the ages.
Well, no, also it's the priests. They can't, there's certain things that are not revealed because the priests have to, like, supposedly for.
And I think the priests even forgot because they weren't allowed
to. The priests themselves are not aware. Well, there's a good reason you'll find out why they didn't know about this stuff. So, that will be explained why nobody knows about this, why nobody knew about, and also it all ties into why the ghost moon, what the heck is that? Why did we get this weird, force field thing around the moon, and it just disappeared out of sight, it's gone. So that will be explained. So that's actually explained in book Ghost, the book that's number 4 of the prequel series. That's Ghost Moon. So you will get a lot of that. Yep. And there's little Aeson.
Hi.
Oh, look at that little guy.
And see, he goes with my sweatshirt. My sweatshirt says, less people, more dogs. And right now we have one less dog.
Oh, look at somebody else. Kathleen has a little dog there. Oh,
what does that mean?
Yeah.
She's not very little, but yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, she's a 70-pound dog.
Oh, well, that's not little.
That's not little at all, yeah.
But that's nice. That's a nice little. Here we go. My cats are like Stevie's right here. He's on the recliner chair. He's right there, little guy.
Well, Hades is not allowed in my room because he knocks stuff over.
Yeah,
Tail.
Luna knocks stuff off with her tail.
Oh, this is a kitty. She has how many dogs? 5 in the house and 1 cat.
I'm so sorry about Big Thor. I'm really sorry that you lost the dog. Nancy lost her one of her dogs.
Ah,
That's really sad. That was
That-
just this week. So sad.
that's hard. That's hard.
That's always hard.
Very. Which
That's awful.
one, Nancy?
Yeah.
Our German Shepherd, Big Thor,
Oh, yeah, Thor. Oh,
he had lymphoma.
yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
gosh. So sorry to hear that. It's just-
That's
And it
hard.
just, we, you know, the vet saying, well, you can do the chemo and the radiation and blah, blah, blah. And I'm go, okay, well, fine. If we do that, how much more time? Well,
Yeah.
you might have
Yeah.
8 to 12.
Yeah, it's never really worth it.
All right.
to put This dog into more pain just so
Right.
I could have her 8 to 12 months.
Right.
Mm,
No.
Yeah, no, it's not worth it.
We
Yeah.
could.
Luna here is 12 years old, so you know, you never know. It
No,
gets
you never know.
Yeah,
That-
That's a good age. Even anything over 10 for dogs is good because dogs don't live as
Was 6,
Hmm.
yeah.
so he wasn't very
Luna's
old.
very
healthy, but
It's
a
very
12-year-old dog, you just you know, I never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
We've got a 12-year-old downstairs, Major,
yeah.
one of the pets.
mhm.
Nala, Nala's 6. Yeah, she's a little bit older than Asen. Asen and Tyga are 5.
Wow. That doesn't
Little
seem
Thor-
possible.
I know little Thor is 7.
Wow.
That's Asen and Tyga's dad. Nala is 6 and Major's 12. And then we have 2 kittens.
Yeah. Oh, 2.
Yeah, we have a downstairs cat and an upstairs cat. The
I
upstairs,
did not know you had 2.
As one
Yes.
does.
How do you keep the upstairs cat from going downstairs and vice versa?
there are doors. The downstairs animals stay downstairs.
Animals are pretty
They
good at getting through doors sometimes, though. My sister lives in an apartment complex and her cat is always escaping her apartment. It runs up and down the hallway and she has to call it back. And eventually she gets it back. She said it always comes back, but the minute she opens that door, that cat's out through the door a lot of times.
A friend of one of my clients has a cat, and she would escape her apartment and go sit by the elevator.
That's good.
I mean, Asen would end up doing that. I mean, he would sit by the elevator. Oh, we get to go outside. Okay, I got to take this thing to go outside.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
Well, the cats are indoors here because it's the woods and they would be eaten by bears and like literally by bears. So we got bears and things. So
Probably more
Mhm.
likely coyotes.
Coyotes
well,
probably.
yeah, coyotes, but bears. I mean, literally, we have
So-
bears. We have like
I don't think
I
bears
think
eat cats,
yeah.
though.
who
More
knows?
likely
We have
coyotes.
raccoons. They could be gotten
Yeah.
by raccoons. So.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
there aren't bears. I'm just saying it's more likely a cat would get
Right,
eaten
right,
by
but
a coyote.
raccoon, like I said, or something.
Yeah.
So-
My dog chases raccoons.
And also, it's so cold right now, especially if I open the door, like to air things out or just open, the cats sniff and they like run away.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Well, see, now our dogs,
Smart.
go outside and, they're dancing, they're doing the dance. And then they go outside, go to their spot, and as cold as it is right now, they run, they go outside, do their thing and come right back in.
Mhm.
Because what's in fur. And it's cold enough, if they spend enough time outside, the little fur around certain parts of their body would freeze.
Oh, yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but right now, this is like the coldest weekend yet we've had, and
Yeah.
nobody, and I was so nervous. I had to take Stevie in, I think it was on Thursday, we had to take him into his, because he
Yeah.
gets B vitamin shots and other things, because, keeping him stable, but it was so cold, and I have a little carrier thing that, it's not a hard carry, it's a soft carry, and I put another blanket around it when I put it in the car, and the car doesn't have very good heat, unfortunately. It's sort of like, it takes a while for it to kind of warm up, and then
Mhm.
the seats are heated, so I can turn the seat. So I turn the Stevie side, give him a little heat on the seat, heated seats. So that's, and I'm sitting here all the time in a really big park, cold, a big going, please, let's last, because we have to drive to St. Albans, which is a kind of a slightly far away, not too far away, but not as bad, So in the worst, in a, barely double digits, just barely double digits on Thursday, and it was just not good. But he's
Yeah,
he managed it.
when we took Thor to his final visit to the vet, David had to actually help him into the car.
Oh yeah.
And normally we don't have to do that. But he was having trouble getting up into my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet, yeah, because I remember having to, even with our older dogs, when the cross country drive to Vermont from California, every time I had to lift the dogs. I mean, lift the chow and lift the little guy, and it's like, nah. But yeah, when they get a certain age, they just can't jump very well. So
Well, and see, his problem was, he was sick.
yeah, especially at that point. But I'm saying that even when they're not that sick, it can be, you have to.
I mean, his glands were swollen.
Yeah.
And we didn't even notice it until we were at the vet's actually, and his whole right side was swollen. His front paw and back paw. And Davis's front, look at his arm, his right arm, and I'm going, oh, it's swollen.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah.
And then I said, David, he doesn't have arms. Well, yes, he does. The front paws are the arms and the back are the legs. I said, no, he has 4 legs.
But I do the same thing. Taking him in. I had to,
I'll put a now if he wants to go out now, I've got sweatshirts for him. He's got little sweatshirts.
That's good.
And he likes wearing his sweatshirts. Because he doesn't like to be cold.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, for example, little Asen has slightly fluffy. I mean, he's not super long haired, but he's kind of like on the long side, right? So he can, if you grow it out a little bit, he'll have some, covering. But certain short hair, like shepherds or labs, they have, they get
boxer.
Yeah. So they get short hair, and they would need a sweater or whatever,
Well, I mean, Asen likes a sweater. Now, Thor, who is a Chihuahua, supposed to be 100% Chihuahua.
That's little Thor, right?
He will not wear a sweater. But he'll get up under the covers. Asen gets up under the covers. Asen loves to get up under the covers. But he prefers to get under the covers when I'm here, but he'll do it. He'll just come in my room and get up under the covers in the bed. Oh, what is that? Oh, what's that lump? Oh, it's an Asen. Okay.
Well, hopefully it'll warm up for all you guys.
Oh, it will by next week. It'll start getting.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Because the Arctic blast is this time, and then it gets better. So it's definitely going to warm up a little bit. But
Probably get more moisture.
Yeah.
I know we will anyway. Usually do in the spring.
Yeah.
I hope.
We must have gotten all your rain, Carrie, because a couple of weeks ago we got we were having overflowing rivers.
Yeah, everywhere in the country they're getting all of our rain.
And well, I'm glad it was warm enough that it was rain, because it would have been several feet of snow if it had been cold enough for snow.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Today is supposed to get up to 20. It's 19 right now. Tomorrow's supposed to get up to 30. By Tuesday, it'll be 40.
Woohoo.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to be in the 50s by the end of the week.
And those
For
are
me.
high numbers?
And it's gonna rain. Yes.
What are the
Yeah, those are the
yeah,
highs.
Those are
What are
high
the
numbers
lows?
for them, for sure. Yeah.
it's going to be a
Yeah,
little
this is what-
4 tonight. 4.
Asen.
But that's not, it can go negative. I mean, it can go negative at some point.
It's
So
been
for us-
negative in Wisconsin a lot recently.
yeah,
I'm sure Shelley has Yeah, my sister said it was like 8 below and, you know,
Oh,
15
12,
below,
15
14
below.
below. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
very,
gonna
very
be
cool.
7 below tonight, but that's the end of it. Then next week, for most of Monday through Friday, it's gonna be in the mid-30s, both during the day and at night,
Really?
which
Wow.
tells you, right, which tells you it's gonna be cloudy, because that's
Yeah.
what puts the heat in.
And
Yeah.
it's, and it's
Well,
gonna be
let's see,
messy, 'cause you're
last-
gonna
We're
get
gonna
some.
warm up to 36 on Wednesday, and it's going to rain, I believe. So I'm looking at my
I think it
But-
was last Friday. Yeah,
the
last
high
Friday,
of 36. So
yesterday, a
that's-
week
Yeah,
ago.
that's a light
Um,
year, Vera.
Morning,
Yeah.
in the morning, it was like mid-40s. And then I went to Walmart with one of my clients who needed to shop. And we were in there maybe an hour. We came out and it was 30. It had dropped 15 degrees in an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah, I don't even want to tell you guys.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I
it's
think
pretty nice in there.
I think
You
it's
got-
71 right now, and it was 49 this morning.
Yeah, we're getting up to, we're supposed to get up to 50 today, which is pretty nice.
Wow.
50, you just need a sweater.
Yeah, I went out for a walk earlier and I just had my sweatshirt on, so it was pretty nice.
That's a heat wave.
Yeah.
Well, I felt bad for the kids this week. They canceled school. I think Monday was a holiday. Tuesday, they canceled school because of wind chill in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't get snow days anymore. They get virtual learn at home days.
Zoom
There are,
days.
there are,
Oh.
the magical snow days are gone thanks to the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I read a little article or an opinion piece on that, you know,
I
how
think I've seen
kids
that,
today
yeah.
can't partake in that
Yeah.
magical snow day
Right, right.
concept.
We
Yeah.
never had snow days when I was a kid. I mean, school was never closed. It didn't matter what the weather was.
Well,
we
that's
had them
because you
once
were
in a
in
while, but it was
Missouri,
pretty
but if you
rare.
had been up here and
We never did. It was never closed for the weather when I was a kid here.
When in Moscow, when I was a kid in the lower grades, we never closed either, and it was like normal. You just get on.
well,
would
I
be
grew up in a small
completely bundled up in the
small town
car, but
where-
you would take the trolley bus and you would get
Yeah.
over the class and yeah.
well, where I grew up,
Well,
you
we
know,
didn't,
couldn't run out
and
in
in the
country.
city of St. Louis, we didn't have school buses either. So
Yeah.
We had
neither walk
trolley
to school.
buses. They're electric, electric up on the thing.
Yeah.
That's
But
the old.
where I grew up, most of the
Russian- they
kids
still
lived
have
out
them
in the
Russia,
country,
I'm
and
sure they have them in Europe.
Yeah.
Most,
if they couldn't get to school, then we didn't have school.
Yeah.
And
it was
where I
always-
grew up, it was what we really dealt with were drifting of snow over the road,
Yeah.
like sometimes 3-4 feet deep.
We would get that too.
Yeah. Just and you don't get that in cities. Usually in the city, they
Yeah, I think that's maybe
doesn't
why, because I was in Moscow and that's a
as
big-
much. Yeah.
So if this, but I
mean,
remember my mom used to work in Siberia and she would be, she was a teacher back in the, back in the, before she had me, but she
Yeah.
would trudge through the snow and she would literally carry wood to the school. I mean, it was like a village school. So she would carry wood on a, little sled.
Sled, yeah.
So it was just that.
Yeah.
So, and she liked Siberia was cool, Nothing wrong with Siberia.
Yeah. They-
I will go. It's quarter past 11 p.m. in Germany, and I have
Oh, it
to.
is, yeah.
I have to
You have to
go
go.
go to bed.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
5 p.m. right now. It's 5. So if it's 11 p.m., yeah, you need to
Yeah.
get some rest.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good to see
Right.
you.
See you, Carson.
See you
See you,
next
Carson.
time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah, we are over our limit.
Time.
At what time? It's 5 o'clock in Eastern time, 5 o'clock right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we're past our allotted time. So
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's been
Now,
great
is this,
talking to you all.
I try to think this
Yeah.
is the last chat before the convention, right? Because we having.
that is correct.
We'll
Yes.
have one the Friday, we'll have the fan chat on Friday
Right.
night.
That's
That's-
opening,
right.
That's included, that's
that's
included.
part of
as-
the con, yeah.
Right, that's part of
Yeah.
the con, but
That's
yeah,
an
we're gonna
event.
have some good guests this year. We're gonna have Richard Leacock is coming back, so that's kind of really exciting. Actor Richard Leacock, who was he was like in Star Trek 911, you know, he was a bunch of things. So he's coming back, and then the producer, my producer Richard, also Richard, he's bringing you know, there'll be other media people there, and we have for the writers panel we have I'm so excited to have best-selling author Jacqueline Carey. She's the author of the Cushiel.
Oh,
Legacy.
wow.
So
I-
I'm so excited. She's one of my, you know, I love her books, and
Yeah.
so I'm excited to have Jacqueline will be at the writers panel, and we're still working. Like, you know, it takes a while to get all the guests finalized. So we are getting more people, and
Stephen Sears is coming back.
that's right, Steven Sears, and
Mhm.
I'm trying to think who else. Who else? Yeah, no, I'm not
there's
mentioning anybody who's
Michelle
not.
Michelle is coming
Oh
back.
yeah, of course,
And
Michelle
Bridget.
for the science panel. Dr. Michelle Fowler is coming back for the science panel, and
I love
Bridget Landry will be really doing her own panel with an excellent presentation, which I can't wait, because I'm trying to think, what did she mention she's doing? She's doing something really
I
exclusive.
think she's gonna do Perseverance.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that's it, but whatever it is, it'll be so exciting. So we have Bridget.
She's got some
we
new,
have
she's got some
Michelle,
new
we have-
stuff on Perseverance, because she asked if she can
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, that's right.
And
And that's the confirmed. I don't want to mention anybody who's not officially confirmed. So it's like people who are guests for sure. That's
What
you
are
know,
the
that's what we-
dates again? What are the dates again for the
It's
convention?
February
February
the
the
2nd
4th.
through the
the
4th.
fourth.
Second through
Yeah,
fourth.
The first weekend, yeah. of
yeah.
February.
And the bulk of
Day.
programming is on the 3rd. That's the Saturday. Saturday the 3rd was going to be
Yes.
the most of the stuff.
Mhm.
So we'll have good stuff, good panels, and of course we'll have another spicy midnight panel, shall we call it, for you know, all the readers of the Amrivet days and any, you know, all that, you know, the adult content. So that's going to be a separate panel again, and there'll be more good stuff. So it's going to be another fun TagCon, and hopefully we will, you know, start making kind of project things for like the actual physical convention that we'll hopefully have in about a year or so, you know, for TagCon USA. So
Mhm.
we're still working on that. The location is important. We need to find out somebody who is able to scout the location for us, and you know, so we'll get that. And I did ask a question up on my newsletter, and I asked everyone, what's your preferred site? So as the answers came in through different people, you know, I'm getting some idea of what people like. And again, it's just that we can't promise anybody any location because we don't know yet. So we're just getting kind of like a survey, survey of preferences of, you know, times during the year and so on. So, but we'll try to work it out so it works good for everyone.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad it's not a weekend. I have my grandkids.
Oh,
Oh, good.
yeah,
How
we're
old
gonna
are
have,
they, Kathleen?
What did you say?
How old are they?
I have 17 grandchildren.
Oh
Oh
my
my gosh. You don't have all 17 on one weekend,
My
though.
oldest, I'm 77. The oldest grandchild is 24, and the youngest grandchild is 7.
goodness, wow.
And when you have them, how many do you usually have at a time?
My daughter lives about 12 minutes from me, and I have the 3 I have most often are the 7, the 10, and the 12-year-old.
Okay.
Because she has 8 children, and
Oh my
the
gosh.
off with the
Oh
older
my
kids.
gosh. Wow.
Have they been told about the Atlantis Grail yet?
Well, my daughter is very conservative, so I had to wait till. But the 2 older granddaughters, the 2 that are in college, have borrowed the books from me and are reading.
Oh,
But
great.
she won't let me share it with the ones that aren't adult age.
Okay, well, we'll wait. We shall wait.
They're interested, but she won't let me share it.
Mm.
I have to go by
Well,
her.
that's a way to guarantee, that's
Yeah.
a way to guarantee that the kids are gonna find a way to read it themselves anyway.
Well, of course, but
Well,
not
the
not by
series
my
is
gift.
Yeah.
it's
By your
technically
hand.
young adults. So the series is for technically for like whatever that I'm
High
trying to think if it's
I
High
know,
school
but
age,
grade 12 or whatever, that 12 to
high
Yeah,
school
I
age,
thought
really.
we were a
Some
young adult,
parents
it's
just
like
don't want
14 to
any.
18.
yeah, something like, and there's variable, there's
Yeah.
different slight differences, but I mean it's for a YA book, it's pretty non-racing, it has
Yeah.
some moments, we know it has certain things, but overall compared to some other things, and the language is not, we don't
Yeah.
have any F-bombs, and
Yeah.
everything is kind
Is
of
it-
No, it's a V bomb.
yeah.
it's just the topic of the age of
Yeah, the topics, yes.
people
But even
and
so, the way
Yeah.
some of the YA books right now are handling it, there's,
well, they
much
see
more
a lot. They
explicit,
see a
much
lot
more,
worse things, but I have to go by my daughter's.
right, of course.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
sure,
it's
so,
okay. I'm just kind of saying that in general, for YA, it's not that,
Well, I know
extreme.
that.
Mhm.
It's
And I
very,
have a 14-year-old granddaughter that really sees the books on my shelf and wants to read it.
Yeah,
My daughter says not till she's 16. So
that's fun.
That's a,
Yeah, it's not always the language and the adult content.
it's
Sometimes
more
there's,
the topic and the
or-
idea
or there's
that,
the-
people
yeah,
don't.
there's
the
the
violence, even the
Yeah,
death.
or the
Violence,
Right.
the
naked-
God issue, because the God in Atlantis Grail is slightly different than some conservative families would like to see it portrayed.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the problem. I think it has more to do with kind of the idea of when people don't win in a contest, what happens to them?
Ew.
Mhm.
They die.
And I'm betting she wouldn't have liked the Hunger Games either then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see that for the,
But yes, because there
wanted
is
to
a
restrict
level of
that.
violence there, but it's kind of like that's what you get in.
I love the
stories,
books.
action
I'm just
stories
saying I
with
have to go by my daughter's wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is,
Oh, absolutely.
we're in that feel good generation where there's no losers, everybody's a winner. Well, that's not real life. And when these kids become
Of
adults,
course.
they are in for a rude awakening.
yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna have
absolutely.
My thought is, I'm glad the family has standards, whatever they are, of course, but at some point, hopefully they can open those books and enjoy them, because they are,
Well, they have. The older ones
anybody
have.
who is of adult age should be able to enjoy it. Like, look at you guys. So, a lot of, in fact, what the statistics say is that most YA literature is actually enjoyed by adults. So
Yeah.
it's not really, it doesn't matter whatever the kids are reading it.
is adults generally over the age of 50.
Yeah,
Well, we
exactly.
have
They're
time-
not even the
time
young
to
adults.
read. Young adults don't
Yeah.
have time to read.
I didn't have
It's not
the
fair.
time.
They want the gratuitous.
The young
Exactly.
adults are
Violence.
reading this
Some
stuff
do,
we did
some
not
don't.
even begin to try to read. So honestly, they're don't want to shock anyone, but they're reading much, much worse things. The young kids and the young adults are reading
And
this stuff.
watching much worse.
Yeah. So it's
Oh
kind
my,
of ironic that this is like
I was watching the Game of Thrones prequel.
yeah, the dragon, whatever, House of
Yeah,
Dragon.
and Matt Smith is in it. Okay. And okay. Now I'm seeing a lot of naked Matt Smith because he's in,
There are worse
And then-
things.
well, and then he was also in Crown. So you got to see a few naked Matt Smiths in Crown. Because he did play the younger Prince Philip.
Mm.
And you're going, no, he can't do that. That's a Doctor Who. They don't get naked.
I have not seen either one of these yet, neither The Crown nor the House of the Dragon. But just one thing that kind of amuses me to know that Queen Elizabeth herself used to watch The Crown. and she
Yes.
enjoyed it. And I'm thinking, how did she, if there were any nudity in the crowd, how did Queen Elizabeth take that?
Well, she was, quite from, depending on the sources, she was quite the character. She really was. She was quite the character.
Right. But I'm saying it's kind of amusing to think that she's watching this, like, portrayal of her and whoever,
I will tell you that, with the crown, Charles is whiny. Extremely, he's a whiny brat.
Yeah.
I look
Camilla
forward to
is
watching it at some point. I really do. I want to watch that. It's on my
manipulative.
list.
Yeah.
Diana is just immature.
Oh, yeah, she was so young.
Yeah.
And, sheltered. But Charles was just a jerk.
Yep.
And they're kind of depicting a young William. He's kind of the same way. Harry's the rebel, but Harry's the only one that's kind of human with emotions. William is, is kind of a jerk too.
Right.
Well, that may be the case.
I didn't really get that impression of him.
Well, it was in the last season.
The upbringing is very different.
Was really, William was really getting to be a jerk. An entitled jerk. But, then again, he is an entitled person.
I was going to say, he is
Harry's
quite entitled.
too.
Yeah, comes with the territory.
We got to remember that for a show, they always have to exaggerate certain traits. So we don't know what they like.
Yeah, we don't know if they're
emphasize,
really like that or not, but
yeah, we can never be quite sure, but I'm sure there's some elements that they, use that are pretty valid, but yeah, it's still a show.
it's entertainment.
Yes, exactly. And
but Elizabeth was a very interesting person. She liked to go outside with her headscarf and ordinary clothes. I won't call them ratty, but they were ordinary clothes.
right.
And I remember there was they mentioned an interview or something where just an average person walked up to her and she was weeding her garden and walked up and asked something about the Queen, and she's, oh yeah, yeah, I think she is home today, but she just doesn't grant audiences to anybody else. That's really a shame, because I'd really kind of like to meet her. And she's, yeah, well, I do know her quite well. And the person found out, like a day later, that he was actually talking to Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Well, we know she liked the
I
headscarf.
bet she really enjoys those moments.
But she liked that kind of stuff. That's why they went to Scotland, and
Yeah.
they would come out and in their boots, and they were ordinary people.
They're wellies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're wellies.
Mhm.
Have you
Yeah.
ladies watched anything else recently that's worth watching?
I got Disney. I got a Disney Plus finally, because there was like a $2 edition, so I could get it added to my Hulu. So I got Disney Plus, and I've been watching the Orville, the stuff that they finally,
Good.
because I only saw it in their actual, like on the free TV, and they finally had it, so I never saw the last season. So I'm like watching the last, going, oh, I love the Orville.
Yeah, I watched that.
Oh,
That was
I
great.
really,
Think of it as
my
Star
favorite.
Trek.
I
It's like
love
Star Trek.
I love
another
Bortus.
Star Trek.
I love Bortus,
Yeah.
and when he invites them to his ceremony.
Oh yeah.
I haven't watched that forever. I ought to take a look at that.
You
I
should.
get
It's
too busy.
It's like this
Caught
stuff.
up
I don't know if
with
you watched the all the seasons on free TV, because that's all I had, and they cut off and took it up streaming, and I'm like, thanks a lot. Now I have the opportunity with Disney Plus. I can watch The Mandalorian, all the other things that I've never had a chance to see.
I've never watched that one.
I haven't.
I have
watched-
never
I
watched
like
any
it.
of
I
that
like
stuff
it
on
very
there.
I like it very much, although they're going to have to go some different direction now. The whole
Well,
group.
we'll see. At some point when I have time, because I can only watch in bursts, like I can only watch so much because I gotta write these
I got it
things.
Well,
I
and
can't
then
watch, I
again,
gotta write.
so you can watch the Doctor Who specials.
Well,
They're on Disney Plus.
Do they have is Doctor Who on Disney now?
Yeah.
I can watch that because I missed that whole Doctor Who with
the last 4 this year that came out.
yes.
They're on Disney Plus.
Oh my goodness, I can watch it because I like as soon as it left BBC America, and I'm like, oh no, now I can't watch them anymore. So
Right. And then they were on HBO Max for a while.
I don't
and
have HBO.
Disney
I don't
took,
get
yeah,
HBO.
Disney took them.
I'm a cheap whatever cable.
Yeah, I
whatever
don't have Disney yet because of that.
Yeah, like I said, they only have it. It's $2 extra if you added one to Hulu, and I'm like,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
So, and I had a really cheap Hulu thing, so it's like now, and it's just another $2. I'm like, I can do this.
You can do that. Yeah.
Yes, I can do
I'm-
that.
I'm
I've been
watching,
most of the ones I'm watching are old ones. Right now I'm watching Call the Midwife.
Oh, I watched that on PBS on TV, on public TV on Sunday night.
Oh.
I love
Well,
Midwest.
it's ironic that with all the offerings that Disney Plus had, the first thing I went for was the Orville.
I'm watching-
I miss you.
on I think it's Prime. Yeah, it is. It's a Prime Video.
I have Prime. I always
Night
had
Sky.
Prime.
Has anybody watched Night Sky?
Is that with the
No.
where they have the thing out in the backyard?
Yeah, it's with
Yeah.
Sissy Spacek and
Yeah, I've seen that a long time ago, but
yeah, it's not new, but I just started watching it.
I
and
would like to watch it. It's on my to watch list. Yeah.
it was
it's
it was
really-
intriguing.
I'm
What-
only
what
a
was that,
few
Shelley?
episodes in, but I really like it. And then I'm also watching a limited series called Boy Swallows Universe.
Huh.
And that's more of a family story of a,
Is
of
it
a-
on Prime?
it's on Netflix.
I have Netflix. The only things I have now is Netflix, Hulu, and now Disney Plus. I'm like really, and Prime, of course. Prime is, but see, I think of Prime as like Amazon because I have everything to do with like Amazon.
Well, I mean, I've got on.
I'm an
I've got
author on
Paramount-
Amazon. Everything's
We've got
Amazon.
Paramount Plus.
I don't
added to
have that.
Prime. So that and then Peacock.
Paramount Plus is part of Prime.
You can
No,
order it through Prime, I
you can
think.
get
It's
it
an
through
add-on
Prime.
I know
charge.
that I stopped.
It's add-on.
SEAL Team. SEAL Team was one of my favorite great shows that I used to watch, and they stopped. They took it on Paramount, so I couldn't watch it anymore. But now they're finally catching up on regular TV. They're showing it on like CBS, so I can watch SEAL Team again.
Yeah, I like adding on shows through or adding on channels through Prime because you can wait for the show to finish its season, buy
Right,
it for a
right.
month, cancel it, watch it, and you don't pay for it the following
That's
month.
true.
Yeah.
Well, I used to do that. I did that for Stars one year. So I can watch Outlander, but then I just like I can't afford this anymore. I'm paying for Hulu, I'm paying for Netflix, that's enough. So but what I'm gonna do is catch up because Outlander is on Netflix. So eventually it'll get there. So I can
Yeah.
Well,
watch
not all of Outlander's on Netflix.
but I'm thinking it won't like but as the seasons go by, they will put it there. So I'm hoping that, you know. But
But I
have
mean,
time to
that's
watch
but that's a
anything.
lot of the streaming services.
there's
mean,
too
we've
many now.
got-
There's so many streaming services.
Now, I like Peacock, and Peacock is actually because we've got the one.
I
with the
might have it.
specialist-
It's a part of my cable. I think it comes with my cable because I
Oh,
do have
okay.
cable.
But
I have
Peacock is
Peacock.
actually it's a pay service if you don't want the commercials. If you can
Yeah,
deal,
exactly. And I think
if
I
you
have
can
the
deal with the
commercials. I have the
commercials,
yeah.
and then with Peacock you can watch Yellowstone.
You can watch
You know what?
Yellowstone is on Sunday nights on CBS or one of or
Yeah, it's not a regular
Yeah.
station now.
Yeah.
I-
But I know
the
Mrs.
older
Davis. Did
episodes.
you guys watch Mrs. Davis? I think that was on Peacock. That was a pretty fun, weird.
you know, I started watching it, but I think it's one of those that I lost, you know, how
It's
you
really
sometimes-
strange, but it's worth it. It's like
Yeah.
it's a surreal kind of a weird, like she's like a nun who is chasing this AI that's taken over the world, and
Yeah,
but it was really fascinating. So it's like
it was, I just kind of lost it. It just kind of
Yeah.
fell off my radar.
Right, and
What's the name of it?
Mrs. Davis. That's
Mrs.
the name of the
Davis.
AI that took over the world, and the only person
Oh,
who was
yes,
fighting it
I
is a
saw that.
nun.
I did see
Yeah.
that.
A Catholic nun out to destroy the AI. So it's like, it was fascinating. It was just.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check it out. Check it out. But it's an exploration of faith, AI, humanity, relationships. It's well done. It's a really well done show. But that was the only thing on Peacock that I watched, and it was just like, the only things I get are like, I pay for all this, whatever the like Netflix and like the commercial version. I paid for the cheap, so it's like I see the ads on Hulu and whatever. So it's like I'm fine with that. I don't care about that. Because if you don't, then you have to pay almost twice as much for the other. It's like, why? Why bother? So I have whatever is the cheap or with the ads.
Well, see, we have the Paramount Plus, for Star Trek. Because that has all the Star Trek.
Yeah, I just can't afford it this one year. But is it part of Disney? You said it's not part of Disney Plus, or because Disney Plus is.
I don't think Paramount Plus is part of
Okay,
it.
so it's okay, never mind.
Hulu.
It might have an affiliation with Showtime now, because we just got something from Dish and it says that we're gonna get Showtime Paramount Plus now, so I don't know.
Wow, that's good.
I think some of these things are
Disney,
merging sort of.
Disney and Hulu are connected.
Well, that's the bundle that I got, because they were saying, oh, for just $2.
Well, I'm bundled. Yeah, I've got them bundled. Yeah.
But I have, what I have is cable, and it's just a step above basic because it's really expensive. But the thing is, because I get no reception here anyway. I'm in the woods again.
Mhm.
And when you're in the woods, and it's like it's my internet, my TV, and my phone. They're all like, I have a landline. They're all tied into this, whatever bundle thing. And then I used to have a more high end, but they start to get so expensive. So I downgraded it, and I just got Netflix separately. I got recently I got Hulu because it was like something like $5. I'm like, okay, I'll take this deal. And then they went up like they're $8, and then with the $2 other for Disney Plus is $10. I'm like, that's still good. I'm willing to pay that for.
We don't have cable. I've just got the streaming services.
Yeah. Well, like I said, mostly cable is for the actual the computer, and without that, I don't know how I would get reception. So it's like for the internet and for phone, and the TV is the extra. So it's a bundle.
Okay, well,
So it is. Well, I probably should be going, you guys, and trying
Yeah,
to get
I should
back
too.
to writing.
I got stuff I gotta do.
So it was good to see everyone, and
Mhm.
see you on
Bye.
February the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for TagCon,
Yep.
because that's going to be awesome. And then we
Right.
can have so much fun. We'll discuss everything. So see you then.
Yay.
All right.
Thank you.
Take
Okay.
care.
See you
Bye,
tomorrow for our
everyone.
meeting.
Bye,
So,
everyone.
all right, bye-bye.
See you soon.